24-hour sausage rolls would cause a wave of crime, the police say. That is the most British headline I have ever seen. 24-hour sausage rolls causing civil unrest. Police argued that the West End location would become a hotspot for crime and disorder. Well, then just give Barry Stanton an ASBO, right? Just tell him he's not allowed near it. Went down 24-hour sausage roll shop. Saw Bruins. They ruined. Greg's is set for a court showdown. Is this going to end up in the fucking Old Bailey? It's set for a court showdown with Westminster Council after the bakery was banned from selling late night snacks from its flagship Leicester Square store. I don't know why that's so fucking funny. In the case of that's going to be cited as like a legal statute for centuries to come. The case of Greggs versus Westminster. Greggs versus the Crown. The popular high street chain was refused permission to keep its doors open from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. at the central London location by the council in July last year. Westminster Council called the application half-baked. Haha. And police argued that the location would become a hotspot for crime and disorder. Now, there is a little bit of a point there. I'll go into it at the end. Greggs and Westminster Council are currently in mediation talks. The great sausage roll conflict to settle the dispute as reported by the Evening Standard. However, a 3-day court hearing is going to take 3 days. It's hearing on May the 16th, 17th and 18th has now been scheduled where the Greggs will appeal the decision to not let it serve its baked goods past 11 p.m. The baker previously told the BBC that the extended hours would bring in customers working night shifts and staff from emergency services and not be a hotspot for trouble. Greggs also promised to install CCTV and hire door staff to ensure safety at the location, which is nestled in London's busy West End. However, the council said last year that legitimate concerns have been raised by the police and local people that these plans are half-baked. There are worries that businesses serving 24/7 in the city creates challenges and that the bakery could become a hotspot for late-night disturbances and antisocial behaviour. In a letter to the council, the Metropolitan Police said it is our belief that, if granted, the application could undermine the licensing objectives in relation to the prevention of crime and disorder. Greggs rolled out the blue carpet for the opening of its flagship central London location in July of last year. Hundreds of people gathered to sample the baker's most popular items such as steak bakes, sausage rolls and donuts. I will admit I am quite partial to a wee steak bake. It comes as the bakery has set its sights on expansion plans after record sales as consumers flock to the chain store for low-cost meals during the cost of living crisis. Now, to go into a little bit about Greggs and why it's such a massive cultural influence, is it serves British goods and British pastries, right? The sausage roll, the steak bake, the bridie, the pasty, right? Classic British dishes. And Greggs is cheap as fuck. It's really, really cheap, which is why in any city, any Greggs around like lunchtime, around like 12, 1 o'clock, the queue is going out the door because it's fast, as in you get it instantly. You get it right away and it's cheap as fuck, right? Is it good? No. Like, it's a big meme where Greggs is just calories for sustenance, right? Picture just eating plain porridge. You're not eating it because you enjoy the flavour. You're eating it just because your body needs some calories. No one ever says, I could go a Greggs. Right? Nobody says that. It's because it's nearby, it's cheap, and you're hungry. Like, that's what Greggs is. But it has become iconic where there are Greggs absolutely everywhere. Right? There's like 3 Greggs within a 5-minute walk from me, right? And I'm not even exaggerating, that's true. Less than 5 minutes, to be honest. Right, but in regards to the concerns about it causing crime, that actually is true. That is true. And the reason I know that is because, close to here as well, the notorious Four Corners in Glasgow. Now, everybody that's watching this that's Scottish, who isn't even from Glasgow, anywhere in Scotland, you've heard of the Four Corners in Glasgow. Basically, It's a place in Glasgow that you just shouldn't be after 10 o'clock at night. Just don't be there. Don't hang around there. Don't go there. Because going all the way back to like the 40s and 50s, it's been a trouble hotspot. Like the Four Corners. At the Four Corners, I've seen people getting beaten with belts. I've seen stabbings. I saw a man getting chased down the street with a machete. Cat house kicking out times are, it's quite a. Whenever you get out the cat house at kicking out time on some nights, it's kind of like going over the top in Verdun. You just hear the whistle blow and you run straight to your taxi or your Uber and get the fuck out of there as fast as you can. It's not a safe place. And the Four Corners, ask any police officer, they'll say, "Oh God, the Four Corners." And everyone, yeah, see the McDonald's at the Four Corners. Jesus Christ, I would say that has been the McDonald's, and out of every McDonald's location in the entire world, I would say that McDonald's has seen the most stabbings out of any of them. It is very dodgy, and the reason for it is because the food locations in that area are all 24-hour. You can go there and order from it, whereas McDonald's does it through a window. They shut the whole shop, but they've got like a window that they serve you out of. But see, when you've got a bunch of people jostling and queuing in that area and everybody's full of it, they're full of the bucky, they're full of the tonic, they're full of the Peruvian marching powder. They're just a bunch of wee idiots that are absolutely packed with ching. Things happen, right? So it's a trouble hotspot. So the council do have a point. They do actually have a point. However, Greggs is a private enterprise and they should be allowed to open their doors as long as they fucking want and sell whatever sausage rolls at whatever time in the morning. And one thing that I know, right, is a 24-hour Greggs at kicking out time after all the pubs and bars close, they will make fat bank. They will make fat bank. It's like, Greggs, what's the equivalent? Denny's or Waffle House, where you don't go to Denny's, you end up in Denny's, right? There's going to be so many drunk people that are like, I heavy want a sausage roll, mate. And they're going to go and get a sausage roll. But then somebody's going to bump into him in the queue. And it's going to be absolute carnage. There'll be steak bakes flying. Someone will receive second-degree burns from a steak bake panned into their face because they get hot. Never just bite straight into a steak bake. Never just bite straight into a steak bake, man. You'll hurt yourself. You will receive some severe injuries if you just bite straight into a steak bake. Not all the time, though. A lot of the time, actually, a lot of the stuff's fucking freezing cold. But yeah, Greg should be allowed to sell whatever it wants. It is a proud, time-honoured British tradition to eat a fucking sausage roll full of... I think it's meat. I think it is. I'm not sure. I mean, it's very generous to call it meat, but the council also do have a point that it will cause a bit of trouble. But yes, return to tradition. Let them serve their sausage rolls.